Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Going to talk about real estate and the process today. Going to cover some issues. The process of buying real estate in the Philippines. Some of the documents, taxes involved. When do you have to pay taxes? Once you sign off on purchasing. The survey of the property and why that's important. Title searches. How far down should you uh, check the titles? Title insurance, is there such a thing here? Surveying the property, how long does it take to get your title? Going to touch on those topics and a few others, and going to be interviewing JR. He's a real estate agent and appraiser as well, which helps, and can use his appraisal services to help determine the value of a property, which is quite a challenge during these present times. Anyway, this interview with JR from JRC Visa Consultancy and Immigration Services, and they also do real estate here, and they've got offices in Dumaguete as well, which is very popular. Anyway, let's get on with the discussion. I'm here at JRC Visa Consultancy and Immigration Services in Cebu City. They have an office in Dumaguete as well. He's also a registered real estate agent and appraisal.
Yes.
You do appraisals also?
Yes.
Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about the process of buying property here, and I'm going to turn it over to JR and go from there.
All right. Hi, Rod, and hi to the subscribers of Amazing Philippines. It's good to see you around, and as for me to begin also with a video, we sincerely hope that you're doing fine right now. You're healthy, you're safe in this challenging time. So this too shall pass. So just hang on, pay it forward. If you have some friends that needs your help, don't hesitate to give a hand for them to also to survive in this challenging time. But it's good also to see a good friend of mine, Rod. Hi, how are you?
Oh, good.
Good to see you around. By the way, I have with me my ROIC for the real estate unit. He is Winter. She is Winter, I mean, sorry. So she will be taking a glimpse of what are we trying to, especially on your subscribers who are planning to have acquire a property here in the Philippines. So basically, purchasing a property here in the Philippines, as far as my experience is concerned as a licensed real estate broker and appraiser, comes with different challenges, especially on the documentation side. So those things you have to be familiar of before you actually get or acquire a certain property, before you hand over your hard-earned money, because it's, for me, at the principle, it would be much better to spend probably 500, 600 US dollars for you to check your probably 20,000 US dollar investment, because it is not just like, hey, if I want to buy this shirt, I can change it anytime, because the value of this shirt is just like probably 1,000 pesos, $30. I can change it tomorrow. But what if we are investing 50,000 US dollars? Well, if you have a bunch of money and your pocket is deep, then you can actually change that, sell the property and move forward. But Winter will be giving you the insights on what are the basic documents that you should look for, as she was connected before with a developer company prior to joining the company with us. Winter, take the floor and introduce yourself to Rod subscribers.
Hi guys, good morning. Good morning, Rod. So, GRC Visa Consultancy newly opened its new division, which is the real estate division. So our main goal here is to help our clients, local and foreigners, in buying real estate properties here in the Philippines. So here in the Philippines, acquiring property is easy, but to ensure the real status of the property, it takes time. So that's where the GRC office comes in. So we are willing to help for those foreigners who are planning buying properties here in the Philippines, wherein we will make due diligence, double check in the property you are planning to buy. So in due diligence, we will know the real status, which is the if the property is clean, all the documents, or there is encumbrances, any encumbrances like annotation in less pendants, adverse claim, and real estate mortgage and lending company or any banks. So in this way, we are helping out our clients to be at ease every time they will buy properties here in the Philippines.
Yes, those are the basic information that has embodied by Winter. Also, it is also before you buy a property, there are two basic documents that you need to see. It's the deed or the title. For condominiums, it's what we call Condominium Certificate of Title, which is actually CCT. Or if you're buying a house and lot, that would be Transfer Certificate of Title, TCT. If you're buying a land, that would be TCT alone. Or it depends on the kind of deed or title, because I think some of the Westerners are not using the word title, you're using about the deed. So we're referring to the same document here. So another one is actually the tax declaration. The tax declaration will be on the side of the municipality or city or county or state in which the property is located. Basically, the tax declaration is maintained by the city. For example, Cebu City, just for the tax purposes on a yearly basis. But that should go together. Okay, and as far as documentation is concerned, our company for the visa and for the real estate side, we are more on the documentation of the sale or the due diligence. We are now checking, we're scrutinizing data, we're scrutinizing information, just like if a certain agent comes to you, if I'm the partner, to me, and they'll say, hey, there's a condominium for sale in this area. First thing that you have to ask is a copy of the title, the deed, and the tax declaration. From there, Winter will be facilitating on his team to get the appropriate certified true copies. So a certified true copy for the title, the tax declaration, and sometimes we do trace back.
Yes.
Meaning, if this tax declaration is owned by Rod and you're selling it to me, I would go down 5 titles below before you for me to check the trend. Like if the title was owned by another guy, person A, before it was transferred to you, and we can figure out how it was transferred, because there are several ways of transferring a property here in the Philippines. So what we normally encounter right now is we would like also to, once a foreigner would go to a developer, like there's a showroom, then what are the basic things that they will, a foreigner should look for a developer side with them?
So they are looking for the condominium certificate of title.
Yes, that's
in
one.
the first place, the original, and then if the developer is have a license to sell,
Yes, basically.
in HLURB, they can get that one in HLURB. And then at the same time, if the developer is legally operated here in the Philippines, so that's the very thing, the most important that you need to know first if you're going to purchase a condominium units here in the Philippines.
Yes, that is basically true. So before you go to, if a certain agent comes here that, hey, in the mall probably giving you hangouts, sir, we have a condominium investments here that you might want to take a look at, and you as a foreigner would be amazed for the price, because you're comparing probably costs per square foot or per square meter in Manhattan, and going here it's much more cheaper here. But we have Manhattan also have some probably have some characteristics or preferences or attributes that is not found here. So those are the things that you have to weigh. So before you engage with them, try to ask them the basic question: do you have the license to sell? If they don't have, I'm not saying that is a red flag, but it's your option to go or to stop. Okay? If they don't have that, that's a red flag. They're probably be complying on something on the government regulation. I'm not saying that don't buy. It's your option. It's the option of the potential buyer of the property. If you're buying it from someone, make sure that you have checked the property, check the title. That's why we are getting the certified true copy from the deeds office, because we want to know if there's a lien on it. If the next question also that you would like to ask, if the registered owner is still living, or is the registered owner here in the Philippines? Because if they are not, you will be subject to another regulations that you need to comply and follow. Like if the registered owner is already dead, it will be passing on to the next legal heirs. Before it will be passed on to the legal heirs, you need to settle from the tax office in the government an estate taxes. Alright? If the registered owner is alive, then that's a good thing. If they're not here, they are bound to make a legal document authorizing someone here in the who is here in the Philippines to act and to sign the deed. Without that, that sale can be null and void in the first place. So those are the things. We are here to give you the due diligence. We might not be a lawyer, because I think in the setup of the US, you have a lawyer with you acting on the escrow, acting on the due diligence side, but there's still hitches going in and out. But here, the objective for the real estate unit, which is spearheaded by Winter, is to work hand in hand with you, with your plans.
I have a friend, in fact, just met him for dinner the other day, and he bought a condominium from another foreigner, and I think it's been about 2 years now, and he still hasn't got the title.
Oh.
And the foreigner he bought it from went back, I think, someplace in Europe.
Okay.
And he keeps inquiring about the title, and the last he heard was that they will probably issue the title to the original owner.
Wow.
Who is out of country. And then I have no idea what will happen after that. But I'm sure they have some legal document showing that they transferred the ownership. But I can see where this could go on another year. Well, I don't know. I don't know about the process.
Can you the transfer in that situation? Yeah. Yeah.
But there are a lot of little issues, little bumps in the road that could turn into big mountains in the road.
Yes,
I would think, especially if you're on a time schedule.
Yes.
Where you need the title so you can sell it or do something with it, or
basically, once on that side, the proper protocol for that is, if it was the agreement, let's just say for example, the parties involved here are developer, foreigner A and foreigner B. Foreigner A and foreigner B come up to an agreement to sell his unit to foreigner B. So the title now should be transferred to the foreigner A, which is the first buyer. And for whatever reason, he sold that, and they come up to an agreement, and they sold it to foreigner B. Now, on the good side, on that situation that you cited, Rod, that's a first step for it to be transferred to him. But the thing is, what will be the downside is what document that will be binding between foreigner A and foreigner B. That is where we should take a look at, because if they have signed the deed of absolute sale and they have notarized it, once you notarize a deed of sale or a sale contract here in the Philippines, automatically you will be bound to pay taxes within 30 days from the notarial date.
Right. Okay.
Alright? So that is something to know, because what we are trying to prevent, right, and not prevent, but what we're trying to put everything into process are those timelines. What if you miss a day? Let us say, for example, your tax due will be 100,000. Missing probably 15 days, on the estimate would give you another 50,000 of penalties, surcharges, and interest.
Okay.
50,000 is 50,000.
Yeah, right.
So your new tax due right now, instead of 100,
Uh-huh.
will be 150.
Okay.
So that is something to take a look at seriously.
Right, right.
Aside from the fact that you to decide on the property buying it on the first place.
Yeah. Now, is there such a thing? Do you know what title insurance? Do they have such a thing as title in? There's title insurance in the U.S. And it's basically you pay some kind of fee, and these companies, they research all the titles. They do what you're talking about. They do the due diligence, and then they guarantee, basically, they guarantee the title is free and clear, so there aren't any liabilities there.
Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of setup here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as title insurance.
Yeah.
In as far as my experience as an independent real estate broker for the past 4 years.
Well, maybe you could be the one to start that here.
Yes,
in
that
the
gives me an
Philippines.
idea now. When you say that, I'm like, okay, that's a title insurance. That's a good thing. Yeah, because we have been encountering clients different on our culture,
Yeah.
and we are trying to learn as well.
Yeah, every country,
It's
every
different.
country, every state and province in the world, they have different rules, different
Yeah.
taxes, different regulations. So, yeah, even just trying to stay up with your own country, with your own little area in your own country is difficult enough.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with many foreigners from many different
Yeah.
countries, so.
The first 6 months for me was really difficult,
Uh,
to be honest. When I started the visa and we're trying to have the visa and also for the property, it was difficult for me because we have grown into our culture to do things in this way.
yeah.
And I had to understand foreigners.
Yeah.
I have to understand you, where you're coming from. I don't know escrow before.
Well,
I don't know title insurance before.
right.
I don't know that attorney is doing all the legwork in the US. Here, it's different. So that's what we're trying to do right now. That's why Winter is here. We are a new company, but at the end of the day, our objective is to help you. No more than that. No less than that. That's the main
No
objective.
less than that.
No less than that.
All right.
Yeah. So anything else?
All
Sir?
right. No, do you also have a real estate side of your business in Dumaguete?
We're trying to set up right now because
Okay.
the people who are actually doing the real estate is under my license as a real estate broker and appraiser as an independent one. But hopefully we'll be doing the development soon.
Okay.
In a way.
Dumaguete is many expats love Dumaguete.
Yes.
That probably has the most per capita
Mhm.
expats, so would be a good place. And I think you've had a number of people from Dumaguete. I know you've taken care of some issues
Yeah, we
that I
have.
had in Dumaguete. So
Yeah, on the Dumaguete side, it will be a different setup because Dumaguete is more on people foreigners are buying lands there on the names of their spouses or the Filipino partners. So those comes up with also in another thing that they need to make sure. Number one, if they're only buying a portion of the property, that property should be surveyed, that property should be subdivided, and that surveyor's report or the subdivision plan should be approved by an appropriate office before it can be properly documented. It is not just like, hey, I'm gonna buy 100 meters of your 500 square meters. No. Once again, everything here in the Philippines needs to have the black and white
Right.
for you to have a legal standard, for you to have the rightful claim on it. Otherwise, if you don't have,
Yeah, I've been in a number of subdivisions, and I've asked. One was over in on Bohol by Tag Blair. We went into the subdivision, and most of the houses are built, but there was this one section that was a couple of the foundations were laid, and a couple of houses were just started to be built, but then it just stopped. And I asked the sales rep, and I said, "What's happening here?" You know, and he said, "Probably a title issue.
Yes.
Probably the developer came in and bought this big tract of land, and they've got 100 houses, whatever it is,
true.
But somebody came along and said, no, that's my land. You know,
That's how the diligence
that little
is
corner is
important.
that little corner is my land. So you can't.
That's true. So, yeah, winter comes from the developer before. She knows the in and outs of the developer.
Oh,
She knows how difficult it is to get a license.
okay.
All the bumps, all the hiccups, all the swamps that she needs to do. Then she's the actually woman for it. And we're also trying to also let your subscribers, if they're planning to invest here and they're planning to do some licensing in terms of their future project, let us know.
How long? One other question. How long does it take if I buy a condominium? I put my money down today. How long does it take to get the title usually?
Usually, normal process of title more or less is 6 to 8 months. You can get your title here in the Philippines.
Okay.
Because at first, you need to pay in BIR, the taxes, the doc stamp, and the capital gain. And then, maybe it takes more or less 1 month there in BIR. And then after that one, in Register of Deeds. Before Register of Deeds, you need to pay the transfer tax in the city hall, in the municipality of the property where you bought your property. Transfer tax, and then after that one in RD. After in Register of Deeds, you need to transfer the tax declaration also, because title and tax declaration is always on the go.
They should go together.
Yeah, they should go together.
In a layman's term, they should be coupled.
So more or less 6 to 8 months
Okay.
you can have.
Alright.
It's the normal process.
Alright.
But it depends normally on your full payment. So
Yeah.
once you have fully paid the condo, the first thing or the first document that you should sign and notarize would be the contract of sale, or what we call here a deed of absolute sale, DOAS. So that is the first step that you have to take a look at right now. Because once it will be notarized, like for example, notarized by October 1st, your capital gains tax of 6% will be due and demandable by November 30th or December 1st. That is what I'm referring to you in relation to your example earlier
Right.
video.
Okay.
Because they should actually take a look at that. They have to take a look at that right now, because if that was consummated and it was already notarized, take a look at the numbers.
All right. Yeah, this video could go on for 100 hours, with all the different. But we will plan on doing additional
Yes.
videos about some of the intricacies
Sure.
or that type of thing a little bit later. So anyway, you have anything else to add?
Anything on the visa side and the real estate side, our company dwell more on the documentation side. We have also clients who are like, hey JR, I'm taking a look at this property, and we are trying to buy, so we can also help you on those matters. At the end of the day, we are with you, especially with your subscribers, Rod. If they're planning, they can actually call us or email us. Hey, this is what I wanted, or hey, can you check this one for us if it's good to buy or not? Because a part of the due diligence side, we're also trying to give you an estimated value. That is where an appraiser would come in. Like, hey, if they're offering you 100, I'm actually appraising it at 80. You can actually use that as your negotiation tool.
But
Yeah,
anyway.
so we will be talking based on what will be the need of your subscribers. If they can send you a message or call us or email us, then we can actually have that one as a subject as well on our next video.
Okay, very good.
For
Thank you for doing that interview.
All right, thank you, Rod, and for everyone, please do share this video, subscribe to Amazing Philippines. This guy is very credible, and this guy is a good friend of ours. And Winter and I would like to say to you, be safe, and we will be seeing you in our next videos with Amazing Philippines. Thank you, and Godspeed.